The Silk Road was never just trade. It was ritual, an ancient memory circuit stretching across kingdoms, spitting fabric, philosophy, and power into motion, a corridor between minds mapped through caravans and woven in light. Silk was not mere cloth, it was lineage. It shivered with status, bled through borders, and moved like water through the hands of empires. It left a trace like a code, not in silicon, but in thread. Long before Wi-Fi and wiring, we understood the world through the weave. Trade routes mimicked synapses, and merchants were data packets, carrying salt, seeds, language, and sometimes gods. The Silk Road was the first World Wide Web. Both the phrases Silk Road and Stargate equal 23 in the Chaldean cipher of gematria, a portal of transition, a veil between civilizations. What traveled along it was not only silk, but symbolism. And no creature, no symbols like the spider. In ancient West African tradition, the spider is not a pest, it is a keeper of knowledge. Anansi spins stories like fate. He rearranges reality through pattern, and in gematria, the cipher reflects it. The phrase Anansi and network both equal 31. Networks are never random. They're spun intentionally, thread by thread, and story by story. Our economic networks do the same, anchored in illusion reinforced by belief. Anansi weaves webs to teach, but modern systems weave webs to trap. Banks don't operate in straight lines. They pulse, contract, swell, and collapse like tides. Credit expands them and tightens like a web. And like the moon, they reflect more than they reveal. We're told to calculate our net worth, but nets are designed to catch. So how much are you worth within the grid that holds you? Not what you give, not what you are, but what the system can tag, scan, and scale. A DAO means to be able to do, to act, and to thrive. The Dow Jones doesn't just track corporations. It tracks the capacity of the machine to move. It's not about value, it's about velocity. The original smart contract, the sacred sale. This is what fiat currency truly is. A belief system embedded into commerce, currency by faith, not weight. Today's Silk Road is invisible. It's mapped across fiber optic ocean lines under surveillance satellites and inside the brain of artificial intelligence. But the metaphor holds. Data is traded like silk. Your attention is the currency. Your story is the dowry. We now dwell in a webbed economy, an Anansi net spun with every scroll, every purchase, and every thought captured by a pixel. Now currency moves without soul, but the thread still exists. It waits to be reclaimed. Before we stepped into the digital matrix, there was the underworld, known across many cultures by many names like the Duat, and in Greek myth, the River Styx. To cross it, one had to offer a gold coin placed in the mouth of the dead, a toll for the ferryman. Without it, the soul would wander, stuck between realms, a ghost of value trapped in the threshold. In gematria, River Styx, the Netherworld, and the Federal Reserve all equal the ciphers of 56. The Federal Reserve is the modern gatekeeper, positioned between realms, spirit and matter, life and labor. And most still wander without their coin, their energy suspended, uninitiated, and unredeemed. Today, money is not placed in the mouth of the dead, but in the mouths of the living, spoken as contracts, debt, and credit scores. Currency has become the ferryman, and banks are the boats. But we are beginning to remember that the netherworld and the ether world are bound. One governs the descent through shadow, toil, and the systems of control. The other initiates ascent through frequency, intention, and truth. To rise through the ether, one must first recognize the toll booth that they've been trapped in. We're now exiting the age of coins, banks, and bondage, and entering into the etheric age, the unseen connective tissues between all things, a network that predates the web, the fifth element that binds space, memory, and vibration. In this age, currency is consciousness, attention is altar, and the real dowry is your frequency. No longer caught in nets, we become the spinners. To weave beyond the web, we must decode the loom. To break the pattern, we must first see the system. For deeper pathways, check out my books, The World Systems of Bondage and The Multiverse of Cryptocurrency, now available at tailoredhealingcollective.com. Remember, you're not trapped. You're coming to life again. This has been a Tailored Healing Transmission.